Good day, everyone. Good day, ma'am. I'm Elaiza Taculod from BS Agentry B, and right now I'm going to report a Chapter 9 entitled Laws Regulating Travel and Tour Services. With the advancement of technology, travelers can now book their travel arrangement through the internet. While this provides quicker and cheaper access to good tour packages, much of the business of the travel and tour sector has been adversely affected. We have here the learning objectives. First is to enumerate the procedure in setting up a travel agency, identify the responsibilities of a legitimate travel agency or tour operator, differentiate ethical from unethical practices by travel agencies and tour operators, give example of issues, concern, and problems travel agencies and tour operators may have in the conduct of their business. As part of our tourism industry, the pivotal role of travel agencies is regarded as revenue support of the nation's economy. Considering that our tourism industry has already become a matter of public interest, it calls for its promotion and regulation by our government. The laws regulating travel and tour services in this chapter involve implementing rules and regulations by the Department of Tourism and Supreme Court decisions which define the nature of the business of a travel agency and tour operator. Likewise, a background on the validity of e-ticketing in booking customers by virtue of RA 8792, also known as the Electronic Commerce Law, has been included. Okay, so first we have here the nature and description of the business, the law. Tour operator shall mean any entity with either be a single proprietorship, partnership, or corporation, regularly engaged in the business of extending to individuals or groups such services pertaining to arrangements and booking for transportation and or accommodation, handling and or conduct of inbound tours, whether or not for a fee, commission, or any form of compensation. Tour guide shall mean an individual who guides tourists, both foreign and domestic, for a fee, commission, or any other form of lawful remuneration. Discussion of the law. A travel agency covenant with its customers is to make travel arrangements on their behalf. A travel agency's services include procuring tickets and facilitating travel permits or visas, as well as booking customers for tours. The relation of a travel agency with respect to a common carrier is that it merely acts as an agent of the common carrier. Under Republic Act No. 8239, also known as the Philippine Passport Act of 1996, renewal of application for the issuance of passports may be filed by any licensed travel agency duly accredited by the Department of Foreign Affairs, provided that the agent shall be responsible for the authenticity of the supporting documents being presented to meet the requirements for the application of passports. Next, as we have here the accreditation of travel agencies and tour operators. The law. Section 2, who may apply for accreditation. The following may apply for accreditation as tour operator and travel agency. First is a resident Filipino citizen. Second is a partnership organized under the laws of the Philippines, at least 60% of its capital being owned by Filipino citizens, and corporations organized under the laws of the Philippines, at least 60% of the subscribed common or voting shares of stock of which is owned by Filipino citizens, and the composition of its board of directors being at least 60% Filipinos. Section 3. For purposes of accreditation, the following are the supporting documents to be submitted with the applications. In case of single proprietorship, a business name certificate and all amendments thereto. In the case of partnership or corporations, a certified true copy of the articles or partnerships or incorporation and its bylaws and amendments thereto, duly registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Complete list of its executive officers and employees, tour guide and travel representatives, if any, integrating therein their nationality, so home address, and experience, including names and establishments previously or currently affiliated with position and land of service showing following. In the case of the manager, proof that he has at least 3 years managerial experience in tour operations and has earned a degree in Bachelor of Science in Tourism or has successfully completed a tour operator's course. Proof that at least 2 of the permanent staff have at least 2 years experience in tour operations. For alien officers and employees, valid visa from the Bureau of Immigration and the proper permit from the Department of Labor and Employment. Contract or lease or contract to lease the office space intended for the use of the agency or in the absence thereto a sworn statement by the lessor that said agency is a leasee of his building stating the area thereof and the mayor's permit, municipal license, latest income tax return and audited financial statements reflecting a minimum working capital of 500,000 pesos, and an annual performance report on the sales productions, and a tariff sheet detailing services, rates, validity, terms, conditions, and responsibilities, and such other documents that the department may require from time to time. We have here also the section 4, additional requirements for tour operators using a motor vehicle. No tour shall use any motor vehicle while conducting tours or transporting tourists unless such motor vehicle is accredited with the department and sporting a tourist plate. Section 5, minimum office requirements. The tour operator shall comply with the following office requirements. First is it shall be located in a commercial district and not in a residential district. It must be easily identifiable and shall be exclusively for the tour operation businesses. Discussion of the law. The foregoing provisions provide for the minimum requirements for the accreditation and operation of a travel agency and or tour operator by the Department of Tourism. Take note of the investment limitation of foreigners in engaging as a travel agency or tour operators in the Philippines. Moving forward, we have here the accreditation under the International Air Transport Association or IATA. IATA accredits two distinctive types of travel agencies: airline-appointed agencies holding ticket stock or capable of e-ticketing, and all categories of travel agencies called travel sales intermediary (TSI) agencies. Essential to both programs, a set of objectives with appropriate business standards that travel agencies must meet. Next, as we have here the airline-appointed services. When a travel agency is appointed by the airlines through IATAN, the owner enters into an agency agreement with one or more IATAN 17 customer airlines, and each airline sets its own standards for appointing travel agencies, and each airline may select any number of appointment criteria. Travel agencies receive remuneration, generally in the form of commissions on the sale of air transportation services, and the rate of commission is set between the individual agency and each airline. Any travel agency holding standard and or airline ticket stock or capable of e-ticketing may apply as IATA airline appointed agency. The standards for accreditation will be based on the following. First is managerial qualifier. It is a full-time person authorized to make managerial decisions and exercise daily supervision of the location and who has had at least 2 years full-time employment within the last 10 years in a managerial position, accredited agency or corporate travel department, or in a passenger air transportation sales capacity at an airline, or at least 3 years full-time employment within the last 10 years as a sales counselor at an accredited agency or corporate level department, or in a passenger air transportation sales capacity at an airline, or at least 4 years full-time employment within the last 10 years in a managerial position in travel-related business such as hotel, cruise line, or tour operator that offers travel services to the general public. Next, as we have here the technical qualifier, it is a full-time person who performs on or supervises the performance of all technical aspects of selling commercial air transportation, making reservation, issuing tickets, assigning sets, generating other traffic documents, and he must have at least 1 year full-time experience in this field within the last 3 years at an accredited agency or an airline or corporate travel departments, and has successfully passed the certified ARC specialist KAS test administered by the Airlines Reporting Corporation or the ARC. Next is you have the premises, financial capability, and the security standards. Moving forward, we have here the travel sales intermediary or the TSI. A travel sales intermediary (TSI) is a business proprietorship, partnership, or corporation that is engaged in the sale and/or brokerage of travel and travel-related services such as cruise, tours, hotels, car rental, bus, and rail transportation. TSIs do not hold airline agency appointments or issue airline tickets. Any business who wish to obtain accreditation by A10 as ITSI is required to meet the following standards. The owner of the business has been registered with I-10 for 2 of the past 3 years and was eligible for an I-10 ID card and earned at least $20 in each of those 2 years for the sale of the travel related services, or the business is considered a home-based travel agency operating from your residence in accordance with local and state laws, and the owner has invested or has committed to invest a minimum of $10 in the travel business, or the business has been in operation for at least 1 year immediately prior to application and produce at least $20 in gross travel income or $200 in gross travel sales in the previous 12 months, or the business has been in promotion less than 1 year and the owner has invested or has committed to invest a minimum of $25 in the travel business. Moving forward, we have here the accreditation of tour guides. The law. Section 9. Requirements for issuance of accreditation. An applicant for accreditation as tour guide shall submit the following. First is proof that the applicant has passed a seminar for tour guides duly conducted by the Department of Tourism or other agencies duly authorized by the department to conduct the seminar, provided, however, that this requirement may be waived by the department or the applicant possesses special academic or professional qualifications relevant to tourism. Next is have certificate of good health issued by only duly accredited government physician, clearance from the National Bureau of Investigation in the case of alien applicants, valid visa from the Bureau of Immigration, and the proper permit from the Department of Labor and Employment. Mayor's permit, municipal license, latest income tax return, and such other documents that the department may require from time to time. Moving forward, we have here the responsibilities of business entities engaged in travel and tour services. Travel agencies need to take necessary precaution by exercising prudence and due diligence at all times. Under the present state of the law, extraordinary diligence is not required in travel or tour contracts. However, the travel agency, acting as a tour operator, must nevertheless be held to strict accounting for contracted services considering the public interest in tourism, whether in the local or in the international scene. Moreover, a tour guide is supposed to attend to the routinary needs of the tourist, not only when the latter would ask for assistance, but at the moment such need becomes apparent. In other words, the tour guide, especially by reason of his experience in previous tours, must be able to anticipate the possible needs and problems of the tourist instead of waiting for them to bring it to his attention. While this is stating the obvious, it is the tour guide's duty to see to it that basic personal necessities, such as soap, towel, and other daily amenities are provided by the hotels. It is also expected of such tour guide to see to it that the tourists are provided with sanitary surroundings and to actively arrange for medical attention in case of accidents, illness, or discomfort. Failure to exercise prudence and due diligence in the supervision of its employees may hold the tour operator liable for moral and exemplary damages by reason of the anxiety caused to tourists, especially when misrepresentations were made on tour packages, or by reason of incompetence or lack of experience of tour guides who have not traveled yet in places of which tour packages are being offered. And next, we have here the prohibition against engaging in recruitment activities. Article 26, Labor Code of the Philippines, travel agencies prohibited to recruit. Travel agencies and sales agencies of airlines companies are prohibited from engaging in the business of recruitment and placement of workers for overseas employment, whether for profit or not. In addition, the rules and regulations governing overseas employment provide for the following who are disqualified to participate in the recruitment and replacement of Filipino workers overseas. First, Travel agencies are sales agencies of airline companies. Officers or members of the board of any corporation or members in a partnership engage in the business of a travel agency. Corporations and partnerships, when any of its officers, member of the board or partner is also an officer, member of the board or partner of a corporation or partnership, engage in the business of travel agency. And lastly, we have here the e-ticketing and e-commerce. E-ticketing (ET) is one of the most significant opportunities to reduce costs and improve passenger convenience. It reduces ticket processing charges, eliminates the need for paper, and allows greater flexibility to the passenger and the travel agent to make changes on the itinerary. Under Republic Act Number 8792, June 14, 2000, also known as the Electronic Commerce Act, an electronic document refers to information or the representation of information, data, figures, symbols, or other modes of written expression described or however represented by which a right is established or an obligation extinguished or by which a fact may be proved and affirmed, which is received, recorded, transmitted, stored, processed, retrieved, or produced electronically. The confirmation document in e-ticketing constitutes an electronic document by which a right is established or an obligation is extinguished. It is already equivalent to a passage or airline ticket in the contract of carriage, which can be classified as the best evidence in proving that a contract of carriage exists. Consequently, electronic documents shall have the legal effect, validity, or enforceability as any other document or legal writing provided the said electronic document maintains its integrity and reliability and can be authenticated so as to be usable for subsequent reference. For evidentiary purposes, an electronic document shall be functional equivalent of a written document under existing law. And that's the end of my report. Thank you and God bless.